Hey guys, welcome to Oddcast, a For Nerds by Nerds show. You're joined by myself, Joe, CN, and Paige. And before we get started with today's topic, which is Falcon and Winter Soldier, we want you to go ahead and hit that like and subscribe buttons so you can be notified. If you haven't already watched the episode 6 season finale of season 1, please GTFO, as we are going to go heavy into spoiler territories as we review not just this episode, but things that we noticed throughout the entirety of the season.
I said no!
So I think the most notable thing, just to jump right out the gate with, is Sam is no longer Falcon. He is now Captain America. And
I loved at the end when they changed the title to, instead of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, it was Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I caught that like right at the last minute. I was like, oh shit, it's a Captain.
Yeah, the second time. You didn't notice it the first time when it came across the screen,
I didn't see
but
it
the second time you caught it, you were like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I agree. And I am hoping that there will be a season 2 because they certainly have enough loose threads that they can pull on.
Didn't they confirm that there's a Captain America 4 and Sam Wilson will be Captain America?
They announced that there is a Captain America 4. However, they have not said anything about the casting list. We don't know if it's going to follow Steve. There's also a rumor title that it is A Man Out of Time.
Which might be Steve.
Yeah, we don't know. Especially since Chris Evans. Yeah. Well, we don't know. We don't know anything about it, so I'm just going to leave it as it's a rumor thing that we've heard.
So it's just kind of up in the air right now.
Other things that we learned in this episode, Sharon is in fact the... Well, actually, we didn't learn that. It is theorized. Nope.
It's still theorized. It's still theorized.
The Leaper said that she was the power broker, and she didn't deny it. But that does not mean that she is. She just let it go.
No. I'm pretty sure. As soon as I saw her walk in or take off that mask thing, I was like, "Oh fuck, is she the power broker?" Because the power broker hadn't shown up to deal with Carly and the Flag Smashers yet. So I felt like, when I saw it, I was like, "Yep, there's that." So I really feel like she's the power broker.
But we don't know if she's a double agent, if she's a triple agent, if she's part of Leviathan, if they're even going to do Leviathan now that they have the Countessa, better known as Madame Hydra. Is Hydra being rebuilt? We don't know. Other loose story threads that they've picked up. John Walker has a minor redemption arc.
Very minor. Very minor.
But
he does not get the pass for me. Not yet.
Yeah.
And he didn't get the comeuppance that I really wanted him to have. I'm sorry, but just getting discharged from the military, it wasn't dishonorable. It was some kind of, I don't remember
other than honorable.
Other than honorable discharge. I think that's worse. It's like, you're so bad, we don't... You don't know if you want to.
I think that it's a tap
discharge.
on. Yeah, it's like a you get a pass, but you're done.
There's such a thing as a dishonorable discharge, which he could have gotten, but they did not. I just feel like that wasn't enough for the comeuppance of all of everything that he had done with how. It wasn't enough for me.
I knew that it wouldn't be enough for Paige. Like, as it happened, I was like, right now, Paige is going, no, and then at the end, when he reveals the new U.S. agent outfit, which
I actually like the black.
It looks exactly like it did in the comics. I was like, perfect, you nailed it.
I like his better than I like Sam's. Unfortunately, I did not like Sam's.
Oh man,
I loved it.
I loved it. Like,
I didn't like it all that much.
Soon as that shield came through that glass and he popped it, I was like, yes.
I was excited to see him in the Cap's uniform. I just didn't like that uniform specifically.
I like it a lot because it's bits and pieces of all of Steve's uniforms, just different colors.
Yeah,
like
from what we
World
gathered,
War II pants.
Yeah.
He's got the top of it from Winter Soldier. He's got just different things. Like they incorporated a bunch of it in there.
Yeah. And it also took his Falcon because it had his goggles and how he had his Falcon outfit too. Like, I get it, but I wanted it to be.
And his wings arched a whole lot more. Like when he goes to like full power speed, you see his wings arch forward. I was like, that is dope.
Yeah, and what also makes it cool is that we saw Torres with the wings, which makes sense because we know that Torres is going to be the Falcon. So if they win, I feel very confident that Disney Plus is going to do it. When they do Captain America and the Winter Soldier, there's going to be a new Falcon, which I'm totally on board with. And still leaves Sharon as the power broker, and now she's back as with the CIA, which means that she has intel. I bet that she ends up getting placed with Sword.
Probably.
And there's rumors that she's going to return for Armor Wars. And that is because the plotline of Armor Wars is, of course, Tony, who can't. So Rhodes hunting down Stark Industries tech that has been leaked out to different places, trying to stop it from falling into the right.
Yeah, but that's a whole nother...
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. And then, of course, last but not least, as far as characters to check off the list, is Baron Zemo, who is now in the raft.
Still doing stuff in the raft, which is hilarious to me.
Eliminating super soldiers through use of his butler, which is great.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And since he's the first leader of the Thunderbolts, I definitely think that the Thunderbolts are coming.
I think that's definitely going to be a thing that's going to happen, especially since they're starting to focus on the raft more. Like they talk about it
more. They're putting more people in it. Like we know Abomination is there. We know that Wasp is there, or Yellow Jacket.
I was like, who's talking
Yellow Jacket?
Yeah, Yellow Jacket's there.
So
I mean, technically Fisk is there. Not that they've mentioned it in this MCU, but that's where Fisk is also.
Yeah, he's in General Pop because that's where the Vulture was.
Okay.
But we're not entirely sure. We do know that there's other rumors abounding with that. Now that we've gotten all that out of the way, final rating of the show. What do you think?
I thought it was fantastic. There's a lot of things that I kind of want to touch on really quick that a lot of people actually is within the nerd community hasn't really been talked about much, and it's the focal point of the show, and that's Sam being a black man, being Captain America. That monologue in the street was so deep.
Oh my god! I want to be Sam Wilson when I grow up.
I was like, every young black kid, if they were watching that should be a monumental moment. Even though it's fictitious, it still holds true.
It's fictitious, and it carries the same weight from the comics, which is the important thing. Yes. Like a black man as Captain America,
which is crazy. I mean, and they focused on that even in the original comics, and that's how close that they stuck with the original comics, because that was one of the main focal points of the original comic was Sam being Captain America and how that would change America in general. Like, is that something that Americans want? Is that something that can be passed on? I mean.
And then even through, like, they flooded in, like, these little strains of reality into what was going on. And it's because it's a very real-world situation that they've brought on. And, like, even the use of when he used the word thugs, when he creeped it in with it, it was like, it hit that poignancy of, like, I know exactly what he's talking about. And it's right there. Like, I understand, like, these are the politics of our generation. And it was so great to watch Disney embrace what Marvel has always done, which is political commentary through nuanced measures of superheroes. Well,
I think that the whole series, or this whole season, it started with the Flag Smashers, the internationally displaced people. They had they were used to have a parallel experience for what a lot of Black Americans have experienced, to implement that through the storytelling of the show so that Sam could make that parallel, because the people of the GRC, he says it in his speech that now you can understand some of what Black people in America have had to deal with, so that you can have some compassion to be able to use your power to do something to enable change. Yep. It is within your power. And I also love, as Isaiah Bradley was such an important character in this show to get this point across. I loved at the end when he went and he talked to Isaiah about what he did, and Isaiah was like, "You're special. I mean, you're no Malcolm or Martin or Mandela, but you're special." Like, they made the joke about it, but even fictitiously, he in the MCU, he has the power to enact that type of change to ensure that we can do better. As he says, we can do better.
and I also want to touch on the fact that what Sam Wilson did even turned Isaiah's thought process around. Because Isaiah told him, I believe in the last episode, that America's not ready for another a Black Captain America. America wasn't ready for it. Regardless of what he's done, regardless of the fact that he was one of the ones that saved the world from being completely obliterated, nobody was really ready to see a Black Captain America. And what Sam did, his speech, and you saw him sitting down watching the news as Sam was doing that speech, and it touched him. You can see that it touched him, and you can see that it changed his viewpoint. And I think that's kind of also another parallel. It's like us watching this show. It's fictitious. It's on Disney Plus. It's in action. It's about Marvel, but a lot of what's being said holds very, very true. It's fictitious, but it needs to be said. It needs to be, and me as a black...
Fiction is a... Go ahead.
I was going to say, me as a black male, I hear it all the time, and it's something that is talked about, and sometimes we do get tired of talking about it, but it needs to be said as often as it can can be.
And fiction is a good medium for that.
Yeah,
to be
it really
able
is.
to get that. It touches more people because not everybody's going to watch the news. Not everybody's going to read an article. But something fictitious like this, storytelling is a medium to get across a message. There are themes. And I feel like this is so popular, and Disney has the platform to be able to get this message across.
And I think with it being fictitious, it also makes it to where it people would say, well, if this fake show's talking about it,
yeah, it's an easier to digest recipe. It's kind of
instead
like
of watching the news.
I mean, you get kind of these nuanced messages which are great, and like the cops in Boston stopping Sam and Bucky when they were just talking in the street. They weren't throwing punches. They were just
oh my God,
having a disagreement with one another that was loud.
Yep.
But the police didn't even have to be there, but they were for no reason,
and they were there to protect Bucky.
Yeah.
Yep. So, at first, and then they arrested Bucky, which I thought was interesting.
Which was hilarious.
But at first they approached Sam and having him be the threat, and I thought that was very important to have portrayed on TV.
And then the other thing that I like is that they did these harkens back to things that you see, even Bucky admitted it. He when him and Steve discussed giving Sam the shield, they didn't know
he didn't
the
think
weight.
About it.
That it would
especially
be for
the
a
era
black man to take
especially the era in which he came from. I mean, and it's the entire series. The entire series was a very I'm not even gonna say a slow build. It was literally leading up to this final episode when it comes to that topic.
It was always the discussion of this is what is being faced in America by our citizens.
Yeah.
So how do the displaced feel? And then, there's so many layers to the nuance of it that just make it so great and impactful. And watching the ending where you do get a black Captain America, and he even admitted it. He knows that there are millions of people out there who don't want to see it. And that's exactly if you go into any of the forums right now, you're going to see just that exact conversation.
Yep.
Had and hashed out again. And then them putting Isaiah into the Smithsonian, I thought was great because it cements you are part of this history.
But in general, this whole show, this season, this last episode, kind of it brought everything together when it came to everything. When it came to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, when it came to the story of Sam, the story of Bucky, even Bucky's finally letting the old man know that he was the one that killed his son. Even that whole thing at the end was, but the only thing I didn't like about that was that we didn't get to see what was talked about. We didn't get to see what his reaction was. He was sad, definitely, and he didn't know. I thought he would say I feel like
I knew. I feel like when he walked away and then he passed him in that cafe and didn't go in and he didn't look at it, it was that he accepted it. And that they can no longer be friends because obviously you killed my son.
Right.
But I feel like because she smiled, it was the cinematic of going this is okay, we've moved on, but now you are no longer a part of his life.
And then the last thing that I want to say is this: I think, and this is going to sound bad, I am very glad that the production order got messed up.
Due to COVID?
No. So originally the release order was supposed to be Falcon and Winter Soldier first, and then WandaVision.
Oh, yeah,
and then something else. And I'm really glad that it got flipped, only because I think coming from Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is very serious, to then try and transition into watching WandaVision would be...
Oh, that would have been really weird.
It would have been very jarring.
It would be really
it was
hard to
already,
I agree.
by the time that you get to the end of WandaVision, it's serious enough to where you're okay, Marvel's doing serious stuff on this channel. And then you're oh, Falcon and Winter Soldier, I'm there. But I feel like if you were to go from Falcon and Winter Soldier, which was serious essentially the whole way through, to then go into those first 2 episodes of WandaVision,
it'll be really hard to swallow.
More people would have dipped than they already did.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people gave up before episode 4, which episode 4 was where it really started to turn and you could see the story branching out. A lot more people would have left after just the first episode, I feel. So, I agree.
Yeah, so I find that fascinating. And then the dropped plague I think was also a good idea. That was a smart move.
Yeah, just kind of getting rid of that whole...
Yeah, just getting rid of that whole subplot, just removing it.
But what did you guys think about the show? I mean, what were your thoughts? What did you feel? Did you feel anything on this last episode, especially with Sam's speech? I mean, shit.
Yeah, so I really like the show. I recommend it to everybody. I definitely think that you should sit down, buckle up, watch all 6 episodes. It's well worth the watch.
Absolutely.
Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think that they are laying the groundwork for the Young Avengers? Do you think they're laying the groundwork for the Dark Avengers, the Thunderbolts? What do you think's next? Where are we going to go? Is there going to be a season 2?
Do you think season 2 is going to be called Captain America and the Winter Soldier, or Captain America and the White Wolf? Because that's also a title that's being kind of thrown around everywhere too.
It's true. And then, I mean...
Or is it going to be Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Torres is going to be Falcon because Cap's going to be busy doing something else?
And Captain America 4... possibly Man Out of Time.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's an option. We don't know what's going to happen.
Let us know in the comments what you think, and definitely while you're there, make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button too, and obviously hit that notification so you know when more stuff that we do comes out. But other than that, I think that's
that's it. You guys have a good one, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks so much, Marvel Studios. That was great. Later, guys.
Stay safe out there.